Well, it's currently second spring here in Maine, and Van-Haulen is the keystone to a ton of our different projects and events and things we would like to do this year. So I think it's about time we put a gas tank into it. Now, I want to say a shout out to all the viewers and the fans and people that have shared all the photos and the video on Van-Haulen, because you guys shared the Facebook content to the point you made us the $400 that it took to buy this tank along with everything to install it. So a big pat on the back for you guys. If you think sharing a video or liking it or anything doesn't help out, this is the reality of $400 made by you guys to keep this project running. On another note, if you'd like a redneck, husbandly advice, whatever type thing, I loaded this with cement blocks all across it in order to have traction in case I had to use it this winter. And it took enough cement blocks in order to rebuild probably the biggest fire pit I have ever built here. So every year I take all of the cement blocks that we use for weight and I rip up and I rebuild the fire pit, and the reason being is because this is all marine clay. It all frost heaves, it all shifts, it all does whatever, and so I just tear it apart and I rebuild it every spring, clean it out, move it to a different location. You get the idea. Comment down below, how many cement blocks do you think were on the back of Van-Haulen? Okay, so Jesse's the good luck charm here, so if it doesn't start up, it's her fault. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Come on, come on.
Take over.
Come on.
Take over.
Ah! There we go. Alright. We're literally just going to move a few feet and see if we can manage to get where we need to go. With this gas tank as screwed as it is, we very well might end up with water in the line, so we're not going to move it any further than we have to get where we're going. So the front brakes are definitely rusted over. They were stuck. We spun a little bit getting up and running, but they broke free. Rear brakes sound good. And so we're gonna back it up. Now, living in Maine, it's really more about finding the least muddy location that you can throw a piece of plywood down on, rather than whether you can find a non-muddy location. So we're gonna go over next to the lift. Try not to run over Jesse's future mud mower project.
Yeah, please.
Went into park. Alright, we made it this far. Let's drop the tank. Thank Jesse for being a good luck charm. I don't know why. They start up when she's around, but otherwise I have to go get one of the booster packs. It's her fault.
It likes me.
Yeah, love you, bye.
Bye.
Do you like your new fire pit?
Yes, but why is there a hole?
You're a good redneck woman. You like a cinder block fire pit. See, guys, you gotta find a woman that's within your budget, yet cute. And likes cats, apparently.
Yes.
Okay. You can say whatever you want about China and Temu, but at least they'll actually sell you a gas can nozzle that works, unlike the US government. But anyways, so we're siphoning out the next set of gallonage. We've undone the vent there. We reached in with our 90-degree pliers and undid the connection there. And we've undone the vent that's right there. Now let's target disconnecting this fuel pump before we drop everything. The electrical connection for it is hidden right about here inside the frame rail. Why in the world it's in the frame rail, I don't know. But this is what they look like for the fuel connection. And this is the OEM tool that you can pick up at AutoZone, or I'll post an Amazon link. And what you do is you open it, you go over the top, squish it together, and then pull it towards yourself. And I don't know if I can do this one-handed. No, maybe I can't. Maybe this side's a different size. Maybe that's what I remember. Was this one different? Either way, I just did the other one. This is how you do. Oh, there it goes. This side is different. So right now it pops in. You can feel it. Now we grab the end of this, and you want to give a steady, deliberate tug. You don't want to go jiggling, you just want to come straight back with it. As I jiggle, no, I popped the tool out. And this is the hell, because if this was still a van, I wouldn't be able to see what I'm doing. Also, I'm right-handed trying to do this left-handed, which is not helping my case any. Okay, that's all the way popped in. Now, if we move the tool back and forth, it should pop out. There it goes. Now, I did that in real time because I wanted you to see that even with me being able to see what in the hell I'm doing, it took me 2 minutes to do. So if you're fighting with this, need to take time, step away, whatever, do it, because these suck. We got that one almost undone. We got in underneath the cab here almost undone. And I just came to the realization that I know what the random fuel filter I couldn't remember why I ordered went to. It goes to the van, probably before that explodes. For all those mechanic in a bottle people, there's my problem. There was gas tank fix there that exploded. Yep, that'll do. Obviously, some engineer with no real-world experience came up with this bugger. This is plastered against the floor of the vehicle. You remove it by pressing down and turning. So you gotta press down and turn at the same time. And I just broke mine off. Yay. I measured out the hole on the other tank, figured out that a 1 1/8 was basically the perfect inside diameter, drilled down the top of it, popped this thing out. Now I'm going to drill out both sides of it, and I'm going to glue a piece of God knows what in between it, 5-ton epoxy it, and hopefully get this thing back on the road and put this in the parts order off Amazon because AutoZone is insane. Well, pottery class in high school may not have gotten me the date with the hot chick that I wanted to, but it did give me skills to use quick steel to fix just about every Ford sensor when it snaps off. So if you have somebody that off-roads or drives junker vehicles, or you need a stocking stuffer for a mechanically inclined, woods person, quick steel, without question. If you put quick steel in a large straw in your glove box, you can fix a brake line that's snapped in half in the middle of the woods. Done it many times. Anyways, let's go put the tank back together. We'll go ahead and stick this one in the easier to get to one. So basically, it should, plus or minus some jiggling, sit like that, and then push down and turn and click into place. Now, when they're not broken, you should be able to take a Craftsman screwdriver and put it like that and pop them sideways. Amazon recommended this, sight unseen. This one is filled with rust. This one is really thick but short. This one is very thin but long. I'm gonna swap it, but I'm not sure I trust it. What do you guys think? You think this is gonna be okay? There we go. Was all of that hassle worth saving myself $200 versus buying a tank that had the 3 sensors already in it? I'm not really sure, but we got the pump put in. I didn't film this because it literally just drops right in. There's nothing hard about this style of pump. But one thing I did want to point out while we were here, the comment section of YouTube is filled with a lot of brilliant comments and a lot of ego-tripping stupid, and this is a primary case. I use roofing tape to make all of my rubber bump guards on all my automotive stuff, because once it is on there, it just does not care. It never comes off, and the hotter it gets, the more solid it gets. This is pond liner tape. And I continuously get the ignorant comment that pond liner tape is just exactly the same as roof tape, and therefore you're just wasting money. But you're not. You can clearly see how thin and paper thin this is and how thick and rubbery this is. If we come down here and I pull this back, you can see the roofing versus pond liner tape. No, they are not the same. There is a reason that this one costs 5 times as much. Just punched a hole in there in order to get the last of the gas out. Yep, that was gonna get me really far. Yep, can you see the discoloration where the ethanol diffused out and water and all the other fun stuff? Oh yeah, you can leave all the comments you want about this down below. There are some things that old school I think just works better. I have transmission jacks, I have an ATV jack, I have a air-powered jack, I have all of it. Still to this day, I prefer the 2x4 method of going back and forth, putting a 2x4 in, and then shimming it the last little bit with some thinner boards. It's simple. And if you end up high on the 2x4 stack, you just stuff a couple of milk crates in and continue going. There you go. As you can see, everything is in using just the 2x4 method. Right now, before you ramrod those 2 nuts down, you need to get the electrical for your fuel pump hooked up, because it runs underneath these in the fuel rail, and while the tank is partially loose is the only time you can get to it. Get that done now, then put your tank in place. I almost got it done before he woke up from his nap. I tried. Well, let's see if it'll go vroom vroom. We'll see what he thinks. What do you think, Jethro? Jethro, what do you think? Going a grand total of 2 miles per hour down the driveway. Well, we got no check engine light. Fired right up. Unfortunately, we got like a 12-inch snowstorm coming in, so I need to cut this video short. And apparently temperament is short too.